What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Friday Live, brought to you by the Hood. This is our Friday show where we chop it up about everything going on in our life, as well as the world of finance and Black wealth. Our channel is dedicated to Black wealth and investing, and also Black culture. That's our thing right there. You know what I'm saying? By the way, deeds and dividends are greater than debt. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you get the merch. But I'm waiting for our folks to come in so we can talk to them. I got my partner in crime, Corey. Corey, what's up, good brother?
What it is though, Black creatives, Concrete Comics.
Shot the Concrete Comics. You know, Corey got the merch on for them, so make sure we shot Concrete Comics out.
What it is though.
How's your week, good brother? How you?
My week was crazy, right? Because I made a lot of money in the markets, but I'm sitting on a position that basically made my week even because I got into a position too early, and then I just keep feeding that position instead of just cutting the position.
I cashed out. I told y'all the other day I cashed out on the last play. I ain't even go back in. Like I've been doing a better job of once I get my chicken just going. Like I don't have to constantly trade. So shout out to our MDC family and everybody there. As you come in, please let us know who's here.
They was dropping bombs they was dropping bombs in our Facebook joint and in our messenger joint. Like, yo, it was people cashing out dumb numbers.
Yeah, people cashing out crazy. GC, no, I'm on a road game right now, man. My light looking all crazy. I should have brought my light with me. I'm over family's crib, but you know, still gotta come through and
Jim got the newspaper. Man, he ain't get kidnapped.
It's been a super crazy weekend. That's what we're going to talk about today, man. We're going to give it a little bit of perspective, our perspective at least, on what's going on in crypto, the markets overall, as well as FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried. How you ain't gonna be Bankman? That's something else. But shout out to Don in the building. Don, where you been, bro?
What it is though, Don?
Don took a couple weeks off, give folks a chance to, cash out on our giveaway. We will do our giveaway before we get out of here. We won't be here long, but we're gonna have a good time nonetheless. But so this week was crazy with the trades. What trades did we cash out on this week? I gotta look at my trusty notes because we cashed out crazy. The MDC play absolutely cashed out.
That was the ALB John.
ALB went nuts. Some folks got over 100%. You know me, I got 30 and bounced.
I ain't gonna say what I made on my Enphase play because I don't want people to come stick me up.
I got my own hit on my own jointski, right? So it's ALB. What else was it? Spy. We got a spy play that was put in by Tone. Tone put that out there. We cashed out on that spy play.
Man, he hit on so many plays.
PM was my personal play. And do me a favor, hit that like button, man. But yeah, PM was my personal play that we cashed out on.
I played my Enphase play on Monday. That joint dipped. Right, and everybody probably was looking at that joint side eye. By the time Thursday, or matter of fact, by the time today came around, that joint was at 320. We started that trade at 280.
Yeah,
that joint dipped to 260, and then that joint bounced from 260 to 320. That joint, when that baby run, that joint run.
Yeah, so I didn't catch that one per se, but I did catch all the other ones. I caught the PM, I caught the SPY, I caught the ALB, so that was dope, man.
I didn't catch any of them Jones. That's the craziest part because I was so focused on my baby, trying to get my money out of that John. I just was chipping away and beating at that John.
GC said his name is Sam Bankrun Fraud. Sam Bankrun Fraud. Shout out to LaJoy in the building. Peace, family. Yeah, man. I appreciate that. Watching and celebrating. Shout out to the brother Jose. The missus is in the building. What's up, LaJoya? How are you?
Yizzo.
Yeah, so that was dope this week, the way we all crashed the markets, man. But let's get right into it, man. Let's talk about what's going on in the world of crypto, man. Because I got a lot of folks. And by the way, everybody watching, do me a favor, hit the like button.
Hit that like and love button.
Are not hitting the like button, but before I give my opinions, my thoughts and opinions, let me pull up an article real fast, Core. And just read some stuff, right? And then we can get into our conversation because there's all kinds of wild stories coming out. So Sam Bankman-Fried steps down as FTX CEO as his crypto exchange files for bankruptcy. Sam Bankman-Fried's cryptocurrency exchange, FTX, has filed for bankruptcy. So Alameda Research and approximately 130 additional affiliated companies are part of the voluntary proceedings. So FTX has filed for Chapter 11, right? And he stepped down as CEO and be succeeded by John J. Ray III. So 130 additional affiliated companies are part of the proceedings. Alameda Research, Bankman-Fried's crypto trading firm, and FTX.US. the company's U.S. subsidiary. So listen, they said they lost 100,000. So it indicates that it has more than 100,000 creditors, assets in the range of 10 billion to 50 billion. That's a crazy range, as well as liabilities in the range of 10 billion to 50 billion. By comparison, Lehman had more than 600 billion in assets, and Enron has 60 billion. Crazy part about that is, Lehman. I mean, listen, I know Lehman was huge, but when they put it into context, I'm like, Lehman has 600 billion.
Yeah.
That's nutty block. Anyway, so this goes on to talk about the people that he's appointing and where he's appointing them to in terms of the company. So this had a huge effect on the overall market. FTX went from a 32 billion valuation to bankruptcy in a matter of a week. Liquidity dried up, customers demanded withdrawals, and rival exchange Binance had an agreement to give them liquidity and help them out.
And then they looked at the books, was like,
no,
no.
Yeah, no. So
they found out Boy was wild.
In a short period of time, FTX expanded the non-crypto elements of life, such as pop culture. So it did all the commercials and everything. They spent a lot of money on advertising. Funniest thing about this is one of the first people I thought about when I saw this story happening was Tom Brady, dog. And I guess that's the problem when you're the face of an organization that you really don't control per se.
Yeah.
But this had an overall effect on the entire crypto market. Everything is down right now. So that's the facts of what's going on. Some of the questions that I've been getting from crypto people, like, hey, is it over? Is crypto done? I mean, that's a bit extreme. I see some of the big boys coming in, setting up their own exchanges in the middle of all this. Also, I read somewhere that Binance started this whole run, which was interesting. They were saying that CZ tried to cash in a bunch of things on FTX, which started this whole process, which is interesting because they're rivals. You know what I mean? And then came in to buy him and then was like, no. I'm like, so hold on. If he looked at the books and they weren't as bad as he thought, that's still kind of foul, if indeed you were the one that started this whole thing. But this also reminded me of anybody ever see the movie It's a Wonderful Life when there's like a huge bank run. This is literally a bank run.
Yeah, man.
So, Corey, let me get before we do a deep dive, like, what's your initial thoughts when you see this whole thing play
out? This was bound to happen. Like, we've been telling people to keep their money off of exchanges for, I would say, about 3 years now.
Yeah. Not your keys, not your cheese, is
yeah, right. So
your coins, whatever cliche you want.
Exchanges are where you go to shop, and you keep your whatever you shop for in your private stash, whether it be on a hot wallet or a cold wallet, but not on the exchange.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we watched at least 4 exchanges fold in the last year, and they not going to stop folding. When the big boys start getting involved, it all they start knocking down the dominoes, right? Because they're not there to compete. They there to take over. So what I would try to tell people is this: crypto's not going anywhere. It's just where you're gonna buy your crypto going to change. It's not actual crypto going anywhere.
Yeah. So a couple things, right? And let me stop sharing that. You're right. So crypto overall is not going anywhere. We have been telling people not your keys, not your cheese. So one of the things is, I understand how people are always looking for a return on their investment, right? So they're looking for some sort of like pay. So even when I knew that, what I would tell folks is, if you're going to do that, still keep a majority of your stack in your control. One of the reasons that crypto is as powerful as it is because you can control it and no one can run. You can keep it to yourself. Like, literally, there's a new video on our channel that we dropped 2 weeks ago. It's all about cold storage. And I'm giving various solutions to cold storage and showing some of the newer cold storage options. So if you haven't seen that on our YouTube channel, make sure to check that out. But that's one of the reasons why we do this. But I think this is a bigger conversation too, because one of the things that made me realize is they were hypothecating funds. They were doing all kinds of craziness with their books. But all right, so I'm going to the real estate side of this, right? Now, what does real estate got to do with this? I talk to people who are in the real estate business, like people who are on IG with hundreds of thousands of followers. And a lot of them don't have reserves, believe it or not, right? there are a lot of businesses and people, small businesses,
Insolvent.
who really don't have any, like, funds where any one thing can send their whole thing crashing. I think the pandemic taught us a lot of that when we saw people literally struggling. It's like, yo, and shout out to all the landlords watching. I know some folks who were in the audience who were landlords. Make sure you got reserves, right? Or at least access to capital, that if something happens, it doesn't crumble your entire business. Let me get some of these comments real fast, though. Julia is here, so she's watching and strategizing. Now, we also got Latoya in the building. What's good, Latoya? How you? GC says crypto is not over. This is what I was talking about. I read this too. CZ tweeted that he was going to sell his FTT stake, which was worth hundreds of millions or a billion, which was that token from FTX. All right. Once he said that, people started to withdraw their money from FTX and found out that they were insolvent once they started freezing withdrawals. Right. That's foul, right? That's foul because now it's foul, but it's not foul because you shouldn't be insolvent, because you should have the assets you're supposed to have, right? You shouldn't be out here gambling and drawing with the money, giving Tom Brady chicken, doing Super Bowl commercials. Yo, if I'm not mistaken, Miami's arena is the FTX joint, ain't it? Didn't they buy the rights to that too?
Yeah.
Why are you doing all that, right? See, this is why you gotta, man, listen. Anyway, but that's crazy that sees a tweet. So if this is true, that means a tweet started this whole firestorm. It also shows how powerful CZ's voice is within the space. No bag is ever as secure as you think. Man, that's a t-shirt.
Right.
That's a t-shirt. So, yeah, that's foul. My man out here spending all kinds of chicken. Mark, what's up, brother?
Yeah, he was living. He was living out here. He was out here living.
Jazz is here. So, but CZ only said that he was going to sell after a balance sheet of Alameda Research got leaked, which said that most of the collateral they used to borrow billions in crypto was the FTT token. Yeah, I saw that too. So my dude is like trying to break this down in simplified terms, because this is true, right? They borrowed billions on a token they made up of their own exchange. This is some American greed type ish.
Are you really like? Can you? So that's just like me and Jim make up a token, right? And then we sell it to y'all, and then we borrow against what we sold y'all out of thin air. Like, they just created this token out of thin air.
But the crazy part about it is, if you go to YouTube and look this dude up, he's been heralded as this super genius, super, like, MIT person, and he's doing this, and yo, man,
my man was just out here bugging.
Dog, and that's the thing, man. One of the things you learn is, dog, it doesn't matter how smart you are if you lack integrity. Right? Integrity, we got to make integrity great again, man. Like, that's crazy. All right, so GC, shout out to GC, because he's been deep in the rabbit hole. He's breaking it down for us. The FTT token is super illiquid as well. It was created by FTX. They gave CZ $2 billion in the FTT in exchange for them buying out his equity in FTX. So initially, Binance had equity in FTX. They gave him $2 billion in the token, right, to get back their stake that he bought. He took it, wanted to cash in his chips, and they was like, "Oh,
we don't got them chips."
Oh, he said he'd been neck deep in the entire week. I talked to Martin Shkreli today. He said that SBF was definitely going to do prison time over this. I could believe that. I could believe that. They ain't not going to let him slide on this.
Yeah, he getting, I'm like, for real, my man.
With the foul stuff.
Yo, this remind me of my boy. They got the Ponzi man, the boy that
Madoff.
Yeah, man. This is some Madoff stuff, man. And Madoff got 90 years for what he did, bro. Even if
I think this dude just thought he was smarter than what he really was. Madoff was out here really just making up like deposit slips. He was making it show.
What you think they was just doing? What do you think that just was?
Listen, no, they didn't do it, because if they did do it, when Bull went to check, he wouldn't have realized how foul it was. My thing is, they were so smart.
They was just living out loud. They was just foul out loud.
Yeah, as we say here in Philly, they was drawing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's it. He played on that whole nerd look too, right? You can't tell me that looking part of it. People thought he was just some super genius quant nerd. My man was out here, flim-flamming and scamming. Listen, for everybody watching, do me a favor, get them likes up. Please, please, please do me a favor, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so. Follow us on Facebook if you're not. All the good stuff you're supposed to do. But that's a foul thing, man. But I think the overall premise that I'm going to get to, like I said, we won't be here long today. But I wanted to talk about the story with Core. I want to make sure we do our weekly giveaway because we got to stick to that to make sure we getting folks involved in the space because GC. I'm gonna say this one more time, man. GC is the god, man, because he always breaks down the stories. This is why I say all roads lead to Bitcoin. Because in a weird way, this is good for Bitcoin.
Yes.
Because if y'all think this is a scam, wait till y'all see when Ethereum gets cracked down. But that's either here nor there. Also read something about SBF donating hundreds of millions to some of the same VC firms that invested in his later rounds, essentially pumping the FTX valuation with his own money. Oh man, they're pouring all this dirt about him. He is done for.
Yeah, he done.
He's done. He's done. I watched something the other day. I think it was Chamath who said the whole entire idea or way that VC firms run now is a big Ponzi scheme. Right? They're like setting up these crazy investments and cashing out and then dumping everything onto the average consumer. But yeah, man, just be careful out there, man. And if you have your own business, right? If you have your own business, put up reserves. I don't care if you're selling t-shirts, if you in the real estate, if you selling platters, right? If you selling platters, put some reserves up, man. Stack reserves.
Yeah. So what I was when you said that, it made me think of Diamond Dave, right? Because he got a whole strategy where you just cash out on at the same time as the people who on the lockout dates, where the lockout dates come out, you know that everybody cashing out that day. That's the time to run them puts on the cash out dates.
Yeah,
because when they getting their money, you might as well get yours.
But another thing that was interesting about this story, I want to bring up before Corey talks about dude and his personal life and how he was commingling partners with people. I'm gonna let Corey tell that part of the story, but the other thing, right? So life has lessons. I mean, there's a lesson in everything. When you look at some of the corporations or funds that he was working with and invested in him, some of these names are the biggest names that are supposed to have the brightest minds. He got over on all of them. He got on all the different capital companies, like all the companies and VCs that GC is talking about. They're supposed to be the smart money. People say, "Oh, this is where the smart money is going." How smart is the smart money?
He mangled smart money. My man lost a crazy amount of money. But what Jim was talking about with the commingling stuff, word on the street is that they was living in a trap house with 10 of them in that joint, and basically in an orgy trap house. Like they were just in the 10 deep in this one crib.
I can't say whether it's true, but
yeah, I don't have this. That's just word on the street.
Online. But that story definitely did spread. They was living in the Bahamas in the crib with like 10 people that was all smashing each other.
Yeah, like, they was living in some weird ass orgy trap house.
Folks was trusted custom board with 100 M's.
He living in an orgy trap house.
Like, yeah, so GC says that people on Twitter talking about pushing up on his parents. Dude better get him and his folks some security. So Toya says, I think VCs have always been a Ponzi. Anything that keeps the yeah. I don't know if that orgy thing was true. Some of this info is just people trying to milk the story and say anything for clicks. But if dude was using folks' money like that, then who knows? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how true it is, but
yeah, man. We not confirming or denying that's true. We just saying the stories that's in the streets.
Yo, it's a TV show. What's that TV show where they be scamming folks? They be setting up these long con games. I think it's on Netflix now. Oh man, what's the name of that show? I think it was a British show that we remade in America, but they be doing these long cons. Leverage. That's it. I think Hustle was the original name of it, but I think the other one is
Leverage. That's the American version.
For America. Hustle was the British version, I believe.
Yeah.
But I never forget in that show. He was one of the things he said is that you can literally do anything in this world with confidence. Says you don't have to be the most attractive person.
They literally have a confidence, man.
You don't have to be the most in shape person. You don't have to have the most money. You don't have to have the best looks. If you walk around with confidence, you can get anybody for anything. I mean, that was part of their whole thing of how they would like hustle people. That's what con man is, right? It's short for confidence, right? Yeah. So this is what Jose is talking about. He said part of this is confidence confirmation. He walked with a level of confidence that allowed the others to be blind to this real circumstances, and he played on that look. There's a book out there. I can't think of the name of it. it's probably it's the only book I've ever read that was like an anti-Buffett book. But this guy wrote a book about how basically saying Buffett is a scammer.
Yeah, confidence man.
He said Buffett plays on the granddad persona, but he's really a shark and takes advantage of situations. I mean, I'm not giving my perspective whether I agree with it or not, because it doesn't matter. But I'm just saying, like, people have these brands and they'll market that brand to you, right? And if you got an old granddad brand or your old grandma and you're the one that everybody loves, you can get away with stuff. So many people wanted in an FTX deal that they passed on board seats that would have been able to govern what was going on as well.
Damn.
I wonder if they're gonna ask Tom Brady about that come Sunday. Spark says, "Peace, fan, peace, 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 peace.
Nah,
Welcome,
man.
welcome as well."
He couldn't have known, man. He a paid celebrity. Like, my thing is this, man. Like,
he's the face. I'm not saying he didn't know, because I'm pretty sure he didn't. But I mean, I can't speak for that man. But what I'm saying is, he's the face. He's the face of it. What was you gonna say, though, Corey?
no, I was just saying, like, some things is above your pay grade, right? I'm not saying he didn't know. I'm saying that the high probability is he didn't know.
Yeah,
The high probability is because Bull got over on so many people that I don't think Tom Brady no different. Not that Tom Brady is above it. That I just think that Bull was just getting over on so many. Like, he had Super Bowl commercials. He got over on everyone. He ain't just get over on time. He got over on everybody. So I'm not saying Tom Brady is an innocent dude. I'm just saying I think he just part of the whole mix that just got caught up in the shuffle. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he's, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think he.
You don't think he had no? He wasn't out here trying to scam nobody. No, I get that.
I don't think he a scam. I just think he just got caught in the wave like everybody else. Like, damn, they gonna write me this check. I'm gonna take that. Like, you damn right, I'm gonna take that big ass bag y'all giving out for this fucking crazy ass exchange.
Yeah. So I'm trying to look up the name of this joint, man. It's the author is called James Altucher, Altucher. He wrote that Warren Buffett book I'm talking about. He also wrote a article. If you look up James Altucher, just Google James Altucher Warren Buffett. It's
Altucher, a wild boy.
Altucher.
Yeah,
Warren
man.
Buffett. He wrote a big article.
Altucher.
But if you Google his name and put Warren Buffett after it, he wrote an article on his website that's called Warren Buffett is Not Your Grandpa. If you read this article, you don't have to read the book because he gives you the premise of the whole book right here in this article. But I want to look that up. But that's his thing. His thing is like it's more branding than anything else. And GC says that he's a shark for sure. He definitely got over on the Oxy deal big time. No way he should have gotten that deal. But again, like his persona is something different. People never think that he's able to shark folks the way he does. They're gonna blame Giselle.
All he talk about is honesty. All he talk about is honesty. And this nigga, you ain't making billions of dollars by being honest.
Brady just wanted the chicken. He ain't care so long as he got his chicken.
Factuals.
Yeah, I think this is so big though. This may affect the way, probably not, because some of these celebrities don't care. All they want is the chicken. To Jose's point, but may affect how you just put your face on a brand like that.
Yeah, you gotta be careful.
Yeah, and it wasn't a complete fraud. FTX and Almeida were trading against their customers and making money that way, so they were profitable. It's just that he was also taking user funds.
Definition of fraud.
Well, that's not fraud so much as that's immoral, or I shouldn't even say immoral. I'm trying to think of the word to describe that, because brokerages do that too.
They do, but
like regular stockbrokers,
it's also fraudulent on their part.
It's not fraudulent. It's not illegal, so it's not fraud.
Okay.
It's how can I say it? Because I don't want to make it a moral thing either. It's nasty. Like, it looks nasty. To be doing that. There you go. I like that. I like that better, Jose. Jose says, call it unethical. So did Chris. Shout out to Chris too. Yeah, I would call it unethical, but not illegal. Right? But that's foul though. Imagine just trading against your customers, but you also know everything your customers are going to do. Rochelle, what's up, family? Buffett also heavily invested in the big time advocate on low for banks manipulating silver prices. Yeah, also I do want to send a shout out to all the veterans out there. Happy Veterans Day. My brother Core is a veteran too. So shout out to all the veterans.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Everybody that I was out here holding a gun for the government, bro. I wasn't even gonna mention that.
Shout out though, bro. I'm trying to show you love, man.
I don't want that. You can have it. I'm good. Give it to people who want it.
I'm trying to show you
Don't
love, bro.
thank me
It's
for
all
my
love.
service. I ain't do that shit willingly.
Well,
Excuse my
anybody
French.
else, man, thank anybody else for their service. Corey don't want to thank, so I'm giving you much thanks out there. Shout out to y'all. But let me see. So let me get the Jose's comment. Unethical behavior is how the big boys make most of their chicken. Dash says thanks. Absolutely appreciate you. Yeah, man. So that's crazy. That's what's going on. Now there's fallout from this, right? So we see the Bitcoin price, we see the Ethereum price. Shout out to all the traders in the group that made money catching it on the way down. Don said he don't identify as a veteran either. Hey man, thank you anyway, good brother. I mean, come up with another name for y'all there, man. Just salute to all my brothers, man, that did they thing. But I got an email from BlockFi, right? I don't buy off BlockFi. I don't leave anything on BlockFi. I literally use them for the credit card. But the email was funny because the email said, "Do not put any crypto over here," right? They're going to pause some of their withdrawals right now because of everything, the volatility in the markets. I don't know how solvent they are, but they definitely put at the bottom of the message. Oh, but if you got credit card money that you owe, that's still due, and your minimum payment, oh, that's still due. Like we might not give you your chicken if you got if you got Bitcoin or Ethereum. We may not give you yours, but we gonna need ours. I'm like, damn, that was like email
That's
kind of was nasty with everything going on. I'm like, yo, this kind of read nasty like a little bit. Like you could have like, you could have told me the same thing and just like, what I mean, say it
nicer.
nice to me or something.
Talk nice to me.
Yeah, talk nice to me or something. Like that's the one. The other one. So I got a couple of emails from various companies. KuCoin sent out an email like, and again, I don't leave stuff on exchanges, so it doesn't really affect me at all. But it was just interesting to see how people respond to those things. Funniest thing about all this, there's a guy named Corey, can't remember his last name, white guy named Corey. He is the founder and owner of Swan Bitcoin. And if you follow him on Twitter, he literally called all of this. He said in the summer, he said FTX is a fraud. I made it. Everything that happened, he got receipts. He's tweeted and called out. He called out Celsius. He called out BlockFi. So I'm just putting it out there. I don't know. Whether dude got a crystal ball. I think that's his name, GC. But right now, what he's on now is crypto.com.
Oh yeah, crypto.com in trouble.
He's
They in trouble.
saying, so that's his thing now. He's like, look, y'all, if y'all ain't take my heed to all these other places, so I'm just
They
letting
in
y'all
trouble.
know that's not my opinion. That's what he's saying.
They in trouble, bro.
Let me see if that's his name though, GC. I think that is his name. But
yeah, they in trouble.
Another thing he says is, and I've been telling folks this too, man. Like the more you study, man, the more all roads lead back to Bitcoin, right?
But I think a lot of this, and I don't got no proof of this. I think this is a lot of BlackRock and JP Morgan and Fidelity behind the scenes moving the pieces, man.
I'm not saying it's not. So GC, his name is Corey Clipston. So Cory, you got that right? KLIPPSTEN. So yes, that is the same dude. That's the same dude. But Core, I'm not disagreeing with that at all. You're probably 1,000% correct. But what I'm saying is, if you're gonna make it easy for them to do this to you,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You could be trying to get at me all the time, but I ain't gotta make it easy for you.
for sure. These dudes is just giving up the goodies, like they just giving up the cookies.
Said hybrid BlockFi, Coinbase, and KuCoin hit his inbox today. It was all in your inbox. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I got all those emails, but because I don't have any money on any exchange right now.
He said, wait for them to start offering you, the crypto with your checking and savings in a few years. You know what I'm saying? So he said that boy sees stacked up, dude. That's over 60 billion in reserves. So he's showing.
Damn, Jim just fell off.
No, I'm here, bro. I'm here. But no, I don't know. I didn't see that, but that's crazy. So basically, he's showing off. He like, y'all all went down. Here go my reserves. That's foul. That's foul, especially when you started it. That's what I was talking about. Yeah, that's him though. Y'all, you got the right dude. You got the right dude. Aren't some of these exchanges getting together soon to discuss showing proof of reserves? Yeah, so I did hear that too.
Yeah,
that's
man.
That's a new term now, proof of reserves. But here's something else I want to say too. All right, real quick. When you start leveraging derivatives of derivatives, you got a house of cards waiting for a win. Yeah, that's kind of how the mortgage game was back in 08. Dog,
Yeah.
derivatives off of derivative off of derivative. So, yeah, it's crazy how Tether outlasted somebody. Yeah, because they frauding too. But I also think this is growing pains, right? This all has to happen for
Yeah.
like. There's no way for this to happen. This has to happen. Think about all the fraud that happened in the market for the SEC to come about.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like this has to happen. This is all part of the process, right? It's like, you meet a young lady, y'all fall in love. Y'all gotta go through some stuff because if y'all don't go through nothing, is y'all relationship even real?
Is it real? It ain't real until you go through something.
You know what I'm saying? So
Something. It don't gotta be major. You gotta go through something though.
you gotta go through something to know your relationship is real, right? Yeah. So the empire is falling and everyone is trying to get their artifacts. It's funny. I was talking to a guy today who studies like infrastructure. And he said something like the more you study infrastructure, the more you realize that North America is in trouble. I said, dude, I don't even want to hear that, man. Don't be hitting me with none of your conspiracy BS. This is part of the game.
Ain't no conspiracy, he's not the first person or the only person I heard say that.
Yeah, raggedy internet companies in 1999 didn't mean the internet was broken. Great point, Pastor Eubanks.
All facts.
It's all part of the process, right? Trust the process. You got to trust the process. You got to go through it. If you look at half of the regulatory agencies that exist in our country,
it's because people was manhandling the hell out of the people.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, when you buy a product or anything from the store or market and you look and see all them little labels say giving you all them warnings, yeah, it's a reason for that. It's a reason for all that, man. This was the most exciting week in crypto I've ever experienced, though. Condolences to the talking at FTX, but I was having a blast reading all the information. Oh, but you know what though? I wouldn't call it exciting, but I think it was very educational, right? Even as someone who's been in the space for a while and studies the space, it's very educational because then you start to see, what CZ's showing his reserves and see just how
we've been talking about this for 3 years, Jim. Like we literally been saying this for 3-4 years. Like these Jones, like there's no way they can have all the crypto that they talking about. Like we've been talking about this, and then they keep selling these coins with these unlimited, these.
You better stop talking about XRP. But listen though, but hold on though. The reason I'm saying is a learning thing is because when you start seeing all the companies that he got, when you start seeing how he was portrayed, just Google the dude's name, put it on YouTube. It makes you realize like all this idea of smart money is like, yo, y'all really are scammers. Every time everything goes back to shout to Pastor who's in the building. What Pastor teaches in the MDC, he talks about, he puts the post in the Discord, Swan, right? Which is a more conservative approach. But anytime you see things like this, it makes you realize like that is the ultimate way. Dollar cost averaging, sleeping well at night, picking solid assets that you can verify was there. Like the chasing and all that is cool, but everything leads back to this. And the idea of smart money is like, how smart are you when you got this dude out here who scammed you? And my man is like literally having orgies for a living. But I think this comment is hilarious. So the U.S. is a third world country with credit and smartphones. We're a third world country with IG, yo. That's hilarious. Oh, they said no lies told. I only been in the space for about a month. I experienced all them other exchanges, crashes, and hacks and stuff, dog. Listen, I done lost money in rug pools. That's not a fun thing. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I experienced that, so hopefully you won't have to go through
that. Yeah, right.
Yeah, look, you said you got caught with some stuff on BlockFi, the stuff earning from the credit card. So past what I would do is anytime they drop funds in there, I would generally take it off. Only thing that I have on BlockFi now, I think it's like $11 that they had just paid out. And funny thing is I had put a transfer out on that joint last week. So I don't know if it's going to go through or not. It still ain't go through as of this morning. They probably halted that too. Because, it takes a couple days. But generally speaking, I pull things out as it comes in. But my thing is, if you're going to do that, the card is not worth me using. The only reason I use your card is for that. The markets had to wash out the 2020 retail stimulus investors and wash out scandal. Yeah, I think, Jamil, I think it might be something to that too. I was messing with Fold today. I was shooting them a message like, yo, I got a million sats sitting on my Fold card right now. Y'all better not play games with me.
Yeah.
They's like, we cool. We don't leverage nothing. Funny how the so-called smartest and most genius quanters decide the best way to make the most money with the sprint is on DC. Comment of the evening right there.
No, that is the facts.
You out here showing, dude. I watch videos of him like showing models and formulas and talking about all this like higher level stuff. and you talking all this stuff in public. Meanwhile, you just out here basically, robbing Peter to pay Paul. You ain't no different than, you know what I'm saying? Like my Uncle
Yeah,
John used to be, rest in peace, Uncle John. But my Uncle John was a scam artist in the hood. Like, you know what I mean? But you ain't no better than him.
you just ran a higher level scam.
And he was an alcoholic, but that's either here nor there. Rest in peace to my uncle anyway, man. Anyway, only so much you can do to make that much money that fast, regardless of how genius you are.
Facts.
I'm in a year. Smart money is the money that isn't the one left holding the hot potato. But here's the thing. In this case, some of them did. Some of them got caught holding, as my guy say in American Greed, millions of dollars. They got caught too. Yeah, man. Like that goes back.
Yeah, that smart money got bagged too. They got man got clapped for $15 billion in a week, bro. That's a lot of getting. That's a lot of hurt.
Yeah, he might have that might have been more than pretty much anybody at this point. I don't know anybody that had that kind of like week, like
15 billion in a week. No, what's the name had a worse week last week?
Who?
Meta.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's a chance of that bouncing back though. You didn't unless you crash out, you don't lose. You still got the equity.
Yeah, that's
right. True. This ain't coming back.
Yeah, that's this the end. Is this the end? Oh, let me stop singing. So I'll be in my R&B bag too. Jim just make better memes. I'll be in my bag, bro.
Mark, what's funny about that is someone had brought up actually on Friday a couple weeks ago about what's his face? This the mother from what's the show? Blackish. Jennifer, whatever her last name is, about how she got scammed. And I didn't know that story. And then probably a week later, the American Greed episode came out about it. So I watched that episode recently. Whatever her name is, Jennifer, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But need to create an exchange startup since most of them are insolvent. Yeah, GC might have missed that wave. Now after this, but everybody gonna have the antennas up, but not really because people are greedy.
Yeah, because they had the like what's the name Celsius broke down and people still was leaving their money on exchanges. We was telling people, yo, get all your money off every single exchange. People, it's still millions of people with money sitting on Coinbase. Get
Jennifer
your money
Lewis,
off the exchange.
Shout out to y'all, Jennifer Lewis. But she got an episode like of American Greed. Says I'm about to bench American Greed. The empire is crumbling because they spent their money bombing and then funding the rebuild. Meanwhile, ours is construction of 95 for 17 years. 95 is terrible.
Absolutely.
Appreciate y'all. Yeah, that's her name, Jennifer Lewis. Like her episode was crazy because she helped catch the ball. Like she got scammed and like because Boy thought because she was a celebrity, she's gonna be quiet, and she was not having it. When that QE ramped back up, these folks gonna forget. Yeah, yes, man.
They will.
Yep. Yeah, they do. They absolutely do. It's always gonna be somebody get caught slipping.
Every single time.
No, we didn't say this is the end of That's not at all what we said. We didn't say that at all.
Yeah, we definitely ain't going there.
Nah, not at all. Not at all. Although someone did ask me that, I'm not gonna lie, I have got that question, but that's not what we said. A con man is selling confidence and nothing else. You buying a belief. Yeah. This is true, man. Anyway, listen, man. You ready? You got anything else you want to say before we do our giveaway, man?
Get your money. I can't say it enough times. Get your money off exchanges. Do not leave any of your money on an exchange. If you're not trading, if you're not actively trading, you should not have any money on an exchange.
Said she was scammed because she was desperate. Like that's the crazy part. Like I read something during the pandemic, like that was big then. In terms of people scamming, like older folks trying to find relationships online, they get them like crazy.
Yeah, they do.
Tokenomics game is going to need to be
loneliness. What I say about human energy, bro? I told you that's the biggest drug in the world, man. And loneliness is part of that. Like when I tell you human energy is the biggest drug in the world, nobody wants to hear that. But it's the biggest drug in the world. That's the way religions survive.
Here's the thing, right?
All this other stuff survives, man. Because
I'm reading this comment about tokenomics. The tokenomics game is going to need to be tough. See, here's the thing. I don't disagree with that. I agree with it, but I thought that we were already there. But one of the things I realized, and a lot of times I realize this, since we brought it up 3 or 4 times a night, is the American Greed show. Shout out to Sam for making us talk about American Greed 10 times. When you watch American Greed, the crazy part about American Greed is not just the person that's scamming, it's the people he's scamming because both of them are greedy.
Yep.
Right? When you see these returns that make absolutely no sense, listen, man, shots at nobody.
Time to get out of there.
I'm about to say something that's going to piss people off. Shot at nobody. When these PAM accounts start falling out, I'm just going to leave it at that. When you see returns that sound too good to be true, usually they are. You know what I'm saying? It's only a matter of time, man. Like, it's only a matter of time. But, it is what it is, man. So, Pat says, greed is the quickest way to lose money. Ignorance is a close second. Bars. Yeah, that's a t-shirt, Corey. Well, it shows that, too. Latoya. It shows that power, too. But it also shows how greed is on two sides, man. It's almost like, what's the line Jay-Z got on Reasonable Doubt, his best album? I ain't trying to start that in chorus, so I only want no smoke. When he says, we become addicted, sort of like the fiends we accustomed to serving. When he's talking about the dichotomy of being in the game, but he's just as addicted to the quote unquote addict.
I never talk bad about it, even though the song that talks the best about addiction is Allure, which is my favorite Jay-Z song.
Fear of missing out. FOMO is crazy.
Yeah,
FOMO
man.
is greed. FOMO is part greed, though. FOMO is part greed.
The allure of breaking the law is almost too much for me to ever ignore.
There was an article, I think the Wall Street Journal did it some years ago. They did it. It was during the Trump era that they did it. And they were taking some of the biggest names in finance, like some of the biggest financiers. They included Trump in that, a bunch of just like big names. And they were breaking down how much money they would have if they just invested in the S&P versus all the stuff that they did. And the results were staggering because these people have these names that are like, ring bells. But literally, they would have just as much, if not a little bit less, or even a little bit more, or sometimes a lot more, if they just took an approach of just dropping, the lump sum that you started with, just dropping it here and not doing nothing.
Yeah. Yo, they was talking about that with Donald Trump. They was talking about Bull would have been had $30 billion if he would have
had way more than he had. They said if he would have just taken the money he got from his father's inheritance and not did any casinos, not did any
nothing, he would have ended up with 5 times as much money as he actually said he had. And then they was nobody believed he actually had it, but then they were saying the money he supposedly had, he would have actually had, and 5 times more than that.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just interesting to see, man. But it is what it is, man. Yeah, man, it is what it is. The con man can't perform if you don't have the degree. Yeah, so tonight's lesson overall is you've been eating long enough now. Stop being greedy. Listen, we are about to do our weekly giveaway for those that maybe join us for the first time. Every week, we give away $50 in Bitcoin. We give 2 people $25 in Bitcoin. All you have to do is say you would like to be put into our drawing by putting a 1 in the comment section. If you put a 1 in the comment section, we will put your name in the wheel, spin the wheel, and then I know LaJoy already put her name in. At that point, you have to have Cash App account. You inbox myself, Corey, or By the Hood, your cash tag, and you get paid this evening. So, boom.
If you see what I'm doing, do the same thing, except for on your computer. Throw your 1s in the air.
Wave them side to side and keep your hands high. Jose, Melissa, Michelle.
Or buck like you don't care. Throw your 1s in the air. Throw your 1s in the air. Buck like you don't care. Uh-oh. Heads up.
Sam, Chris, and Jamil. Chris, Jamil. Who we got after Jamil? Mark, Chad, and Dash. All right. Right. Miller Community House Staff. Oh, this is Dan. So we got Dan and Cookie. I'll make sure I put Cookie in here too. I don't know who Miller Community House Staff is, but make sure they subscribe to the channel, Dan. We appreciate that.
Right.
So we got LaJoya, and now we got Latoya. All right. So I'm going to read the names that we have as far.
We got
Danny
Danny.
J and Don.
V-Don or cheating ass Don?
How about both? Don, I was thinking about you this week. Pause. I was on the phone with Vanguard, right? So Vanguard is where I keep like my long term stuff. But I was asking them, right? So MGK, I've mentioned this on here, and by the way, anything we share on the show is not investment advice; it's for educational, informational purposes only. I'm just talking about what I was doing. So Core knows, and I've talked all summer about my love affair with the ETF MGK, but they also have an index fund. But you know what Vanguard Index Fund, they have like Admiral shares, investor shares, where you actually can lower your expenses crazily. So the top one is like investor share. And I'm like, all right. So I was like, if I want to convert this large cap growth ETF into an index fund, but I want to get the highest level, I was like, what's the minimum requirement? So the difference between an ETF and an index, like indexes have like minimum buy-ins. So the other ones have like a $3,000 buy-in. I'm like, all right, so if I have over 3,000 in ETFs, I can get that one. I said, but I don't want that one. I want the big boy. Corey, you know what they told me I need?
Emmy.
Not an M. Not an M. What you think they told me I need?
I mean, if it ain't an M, probably. Two M's.
No, it ain't that high. But I'm gonna show you. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna show you real quick. It's
60,
a mega cap growth.
60,000.
Don, what you think of this, Don? You know,
He said 100. He said 100.
I'm gonna show you. All right, I'm gonna show you.
A milli. I know they be playing.
Show you what
they be playing hardcore games.
Hey, listen, bro.
I know like, for the six. I know when I asked about the 6% growth, John, they told me that I need minimum capital on that joint is $5 million. I was like,
all right, let me show you this real quick. Can I get back?
The guaranteed 6%.
3 to 4. Let me show you. I mean, when you get that kind of money, that's why I'll be like, yo, if I'm an athlete, that's what I'm doing. All right, so here it is right here. Y'all can look this up. So VMGAX is the equivalent of the MGK and Mega Cap Growth Index Fund institutional shares. The expense ratio is only 0.06. It's taking a beating this year, but that's cool because it's very heavy in terms of tech. Look at the minimum, Joe, bro.
Is that $307,000? $370,000?
No, that's the net asset value.
I don't see
I'm putting my cursor up. You see where it says investment minimum?
I can't see that shit little on my screen. Hold on. All
right, so you see what the expense ratio says 0.06, right?
Yeah. Oh, damn. Is that 500? Is that $5 million?
Yes, sir.
That's $5 million, bro.
Yes, sir. I meant to say higher, but yeah. So not a million, not two. 5 M's. I was like, all right, I'm gonna call y'all back in 15 years. I was like, I want to convert mine to the top one. I got the
yo,
all right, let me look this up.
Yo, 5 M's. Yo, okay. That's the same as they do. So when I called about the guaranteed 6%, that's exactly what they told. They told me 5 M's.
Now, what I will say about it is you get the lowest expense ratio. Like this is passive, this index. These are I'm gonna go this to show y'all kind of what you get in terms of the holdings, right? So when you buy any of this is what you're getting. All right, where is it at? So you're getting Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Tesla, Google, Facebook, Visa, Nvidia, and Home Depot. That's the top 10, and it has 96 holdings. So I'm not gonna go through all 96. I'll give you the next 10: Mastercard, Costco, Thermo Fisher, Walt Disney, Accenture, McDonald's, Texas Instruments, Salesforce. So what I like about this specifically, like the ETF one, is that it gives you, it's tech heavy in the top, but it's not all tech. So it's not like buying the Qs or anything, because you get the Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, you get the big boys, but you also get the McDonald's. You know what I mean? Like you get a little bit of consumer, like regular consumer joints. So that's what I like about this. You get the McDonald's, the Salesforce, the Disneys, you get all that under one roof. So again, not investment advice. So for some of y'all watching that got 5 M's, that's for y'all. But let me go to the other one so we can get to it. Before we do this though, gotta let you know this. a current episode of our podcast. It's a fire one. Got a lot of great feedback saying it's one of our best. It's with our brother Ronnie, and we talk about community, economics, and all kinds of stuff like that. So make sure you check that out. A lot of episodes coming up. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. But let's get it popping. Remember, if you win, you got to let me know that you're still here. Once you let me know you're still here, shoot me a message. I'll get it to you this evening. So, Corey, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's get it. Oh,
Wife.
LaJoya with the first 25.
Congratulations, wife.
All right, here's the second one. Y'all ready? Good luck to everybody. Let's go. How's that possible? LaJoya and Latoya. All right, so LaJoya and Latoya, both y'all to shoot me a message. Give me like an hour or so because I'm not home, as y'all can see. I'll make sure to get y'all bread tonight. Congratulations to you two.
I had nothing to do with that.
Either one of them. Ooh, here's a question for you, Core.
What do I think about futures trading versus options trading?
I like this question, though.
It's about leverage, right? So it's about your leverage, and it's about your patience, right? Because I learned a lot about options trading through futures trading because I had a mentor in futures trading, and she taught us a lot about options trading when she was talking about her futures trading. And so they're very, very similar. The exchanges aren't similar though. So
what I'll do is like my perspective, right? So I know in our community, we have people that trade futures exclusively, and a lot of them are very, very successful. Personally, what I found for me is learning futures was a net positive, just like learning Forex was a net positive. But learning Forex and futures kind of got in the way of my options trading, right? And I guess for me, everybody's different because I know people that trade in all markets. But for me, I personally can't do it. I have to focus on one thing. So I don't even trade crypto. I only trade options. And the reason I only trade options is because now that I'm able to hyper focus, my returns are a lot better than when I was trying to like flirt with futures. Now I'm trying to flirt with Forex. Now I'm trying to do crypto. And people are like, man, you got to get money in all these markets. And again, I'm not knocking that because that may work for someone else. But futures didn't work for me because first off, y'all be getting up 3 and 4 in the morning. That ain't me. I need my sleep. So right off the bat, I'm pissed. I'm cool.
The leverage is way different. I tell you that.
You have to trade this China market. I'm like, no, I'm not getting to trade no China market. I like the fact that this is 9:30 to 4. Like that it just works for me from a time standpoint. It works for me from a studying standpoint. But I do see the money in there because a lot of my friends that trade futures make a lot more money trading than I do too because they running a bag up to the moon. But
yes,
it just didn't work for me. So when people ask me, I tell people you need to like hyper focus on one and get great at that before you start.
You can learn about. See, like I said, futures trading helped me with my options trading because it gives futures gives indicators. That's why they call futures into what's going to happen into the next.
I get that.
Into the next trading session, right? But the thing about it is, for me, like you said, like I was all over the place, and I couldn't continue to be all over the place and then expect to make money.
And that's how I was. It kind of messed with my options because I was literally all over the place. I'm jumping here, jumping there. It just didn't work for me personally. But I do know friends that trade futures that kill it.
I ain't gonna lie. I still keep a bag to the side. I still hold my own money, but when I'm ready to trade, like when I see a big trade coming for crypto, I dump my money into the crypto joint and make that trade, and then I take my money back off the exchange. I don't even leave my money on the exchange after the trade.
Yeah, I don't even trade crypto no more. I stopped trying because but the thing is, that's why like lately I've been on a crazy run with options, and I share it with our group. One of the reasons is because I stopped trying to do everything else. I stopped trying to trade crypto in the evening. I stopped trying to get up in the morning and trade futures. That's a great question. I don't know who asked that question, but that was a great question. I appreciate the question. But yeah, for me, that's my personal thing. Now, if you're a master,
there's nothing wrong with trading any market, though. I want to say that if you're going to focus on that market, because we had Naomi on, and she focuses on
Forex,
and she make a bag big enough to the stuff Texas in, right? So, you know what I mean?
Your money got she
Her
when the
money
money
got
come
money.
in, you got to use the
So,
scale that the way the whales with.
yeah, man.
All
So
right, but
her
listen,
money got money. So
so Chris,
I'm not saying anything against any market because she trades that and that got up to 500 times leverage.
all right, real quick though, Chris says he had to focus on one, and he just chose futures, and that's
I
Chris.
don't have a
Bless, brother.
problem with that.
But that's my point. If you focus on one, options just work best for me, right? So that was my perspective on that. But I think that's an excellent question. So appreciate the question. Thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate all the support as always. We'll be back here next Friday. New pod dropping Wednesday. New content is on our YouTube channel literally every day. So make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Give us some feedback. Show us some love. If you listen to the podcast on the audio tip on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, leave us a review, 5 stars. We appreciate it. We love y'all. Next Friday, another Bitcoin giveaway. We do this every Friday. So y'all have a great week. And please stay safe out there. If you're in our private membership group, the MDC and all that, Sunday at noon, our class, every Sunday at noon. So we'll see you then.
Shake it up again.
You know what I'm saying? And, be safe, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Peace.